is the Run Your Day podcast with Dan Hafner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. My name is Dan Hafner. I'm your host here, and today's topic is this: picking and choosing what we do. As always, I appreciate you all joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. All right, everyone. Today we're going to talk about something that, believe it or not, I have just recently learned about and have been implementing in my own life and in my business. And I just kind of want to share some of my thoughts on it. And you may or may not know about this method of decision making. And if you do, then maybe it'll benefit you to hear from a different perspective. But if you don't, I think this will be majorly enlightening for you, to say the least. So the topic I'm going to talk about today is picking and choosing what we should do, right? I've talked about this many times, the chaos of abundance and the trying to figure out which priorities to hunt down, which things to do, which tasks are more important, which things are more urgent. You know, we've talked about the Stephen R. Covey time matrix. Lots and lots of times I've talked about this in references. So there is a decision making, or it's like a scoring method that is out there. It's called the RICE method. Okay. Now I'm going to talk through each one of these. It's an acronym, right? And it stands for reach, impact, confidence, and effort. Okay. Now, what I'm going to talk about this in terms inside the frame of decision making and goals and targets that you're chasing down, right? And man, there's a really great course that I'm in that the guy, he gives a lot more succinct view of it in like a 3 to 4 minute type of synopsis. Obviously, I'm not the guy in the course talking to you, so I'm going to do my best to kind of explain this to you a little bit more long-windedly about really how this works, right? So R for reach, right? When you're thinking about a goal, when you're thinking about a target that you're hunting down, whether even if it's a physical goal, if it's a race you're trying to do, or a weightlifting circuit you're trying to do, or anything like that, or even if it's a business goal or a personal goal or a weight loss goal, whatever the case might be, right? The reach is, and a lot of times this is used inside of marketing. So inside of a marketing goal, right? It's how big is this going to be? How much visibility can you get? Right. But in terms of your goal setting area, right, you're thinking about, okay, when I achieve this goal, how far have I actually gone? Like, how far have I reached? How much have I propelled myself forward? Right. Because there's certain goals. Let's be honest. There's certain goals and targets that you and I pursue that when we actually achieve them, we realize we set the bar too low. Right. And then there's sometimes we set that bar and we realize that we set it way too high because we were all like gung ho, like, oh yeah, we're gonna set the bar high, we're gonna do awesome. And then you realize that it's completely out of reach. Okay. So this reach factor, I like to think of in terms of, is it the right amount of reach? Is it just far enough of a reach for me that, when I actually achieve this target, when I achieve this goal, like that's a good benchmark for me. That's a good milestone for me because it's allowing me to kind of live my life, to do the things I want to do, but it's also challenging me in the right amount and not overwhelming me and making me drink from a fire hose and regret that I even made this decision, right? So that's the R. Now, I is for impact, right? Now, this kind of goes hand in hand, I think, in terms of goal setting. Again, I'm kind of adapting this from marketing perspectives, but the impact I like to think of in terms of not only impact on my own life, but the impact I have on others, right? And I think this is particularly, I was going to say it's particularly in every area, but it's particularly applicable inside of business goals, right? Or finance goals or career goals, right? When you think of, when I achieve this goal or when I hit this target or whatever it is you're chasing, am I only doing this to be self-serving, or am I actually creating something of impact for other people? Or am I leveling up the level of service I give, or the level of business I provide, or the level of customer service I have, or is the product that I provide actually, impacting more people? Am I able to reach more people? Am I able to impact more people's lives? right? Because if you start to see like, just because I'm going back to the drawing board and revamping my website this month, am I really going to impact a lot of people? No, not really. It's just going to be more of a self-serving type of goal. And there's nothing wrong with self-serving type of goals, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with those. They have their place and their validity, right? But in terms of thinking about impact, you're thinking about, okay, I want to reach people around me. I want to reach, like when I think about this in terms of making the apps that I make in the and even inside of this podcast, like what's the impact going to be on you, the listener? What's the impact going to be on the end user of the technology that I'm building and I'm providing, right? And when you think it through on that level, that's like next level deep thought, and that really gives you more clarity into why you're doing what you're doing, right? Okay. Now let's move on to the third piece, and that is C, confidence. And this is pretty straightforward. This is the confidence that you have in yourself that you can actually achieve this thing, right? Do you have, like, what is your level of confidence? Do you have confidence that you can hit it? And this kind of goes back to the reach part, right? Like, are you kind of assessing this and being like, I don't know if I can do this. This is really making my butt pucker. You know what I mean? Like I can't do this. Or are you like overconfident? Are you just like, yeah, I should be able to achieve this quarterly goal in a week, right? Then you need to do some reassessing. You need to be like, okay, there's probably a reason I'm overconfident in this, and maybe that overconfidence will prove to be no bueno, right? Maybe it'll be like, oh wow, I was way too overconfident in my abilities or my resources or my ability to actually get this done, right? But then you might go the other way, and you might be like, well, I don't have any confidence that I can get this done, right? And then this, when you look at it through this frame, then you start to say, well, okay, let's go back to the reach in the impact of like, am I really doing the right thing? Am I actually pursuing the right thing? Because if I don't have any confidence that I can get it done, yeah, it might completely change my life and the lives of others inside of the reach and the impact category. But if I have zero confidence that I can hit it, why would I pursue that thing? Right? Like, why? I'm wasting my time. I'm banging my head against the wall and I'm going to be miserable, and it's not going to benefit anyone. Okay. Now the last piece, the fourth piece, is E for effort. Okay. Now, what level of effort? Like, is this gonna require 16 hours a day of your extreme deep focus to achieve? Or is it going to be 10 minutes a day? Is it going to be an hour a day? Is it going to be 3 times a week? Is it going to be just on the weekends? Right? What level of effort, and I like to put resources in here as well. What level of effort and resources is this actually going to require to pull off? And when you look at a goal or a target through this frame, you start to be like, okay, I'm having some good reach. Like, this is actually pushing me forward personally and professionally. Okay. The impact is also there. It's going to, it's going to impact a lot of people. It's going to, push things forward. It's going to actually provide some new things. I'm pretty confident I can hit it, but it's also going to take me 10 hours a day that I can't dedicate to it to also pull off. And then it falls apart. Right. So this is a really crazy, awesome framework that I really like to think through in terms of all this, because I hope you can see kind of how all these are interconnected, right? As you go through each one of them and you really take your goal or your target or your aim in life, whatever it is you're chasing or hunting, and you put it through each one of these frames, you start to like filter it down to be a lot more clear in what you actually can do and what you actually can hit. And then you start to also get more clear on that why. Like, all of these filter into that why, right? And it's amazing. I've started to do this inside of pretty much all the different business goals that I'm shooting for over the next 2 to 3 months. And I got to tell you, like, it's a game changer for me. It really is, because like I said, it really frames your daily decision making on a whole different level, because once you have this, okay, I know I'm reaching for something that is within my grasp, but is also challenging me. I know that the impact that it's creating is going to be enough impact that I'm comfortable with making, but also not just like doing it just for me. I'm pretty confident. You should be at least over 50% confident that you can hit this goal, right? You don't want to be down in like 10, 20% range, but you don't want to be at like, 90, 95% range. Like, yeah, if you're up there, that's great, but you're also probably not challenging enough. You're not reaching far enough, right? You see how the reach and the confidence are kind of interconnected. And then the effort is another thing that a lot of people don't consider. And this kind of threw me off a lot when I first started going down this path, and when I really sat down and was like, okay, to achieve this thing that I want to do in business, or to pull off, like when I started pulling off the Run Your Day app, like I completely underestimated the amount of effort that was going to go into it. Like it ended up being something that, yeah, like the impact was there, the reach was there, the confidence was there, and then the effort I completely underestimated. But I didn't put that through this type of framework, so I wasn't doing this at that time, right? And if I would have known, I would have been like, okay, there's a lot more effort involved in this, so therefore my confidence score goes down, but the impact also goes up and the reach goes a little bit further, right? So that the whole game of this episode and the whole game of this this concept that I've been talking to you guys about is around this balancing act of thinking through all four frames of these at once, not just seeing your goal through like, you know what, I'm going to do this because it's going to make me this much money, or it's going to impact this many people, or I'm super confident I can hit this, right? You got to think about all of these combined. Like this is your 30,000 feet, I'm flying in a plane type of view of a goal or a target or a pursuit, right? Am I reaching far enough? Am I reaching too far? Or my confidence is low that I can't hit it? Or am I reaching just far enough where my confidence level's pretty good that I can hit this thing? But it's also, more than just a self-serving goal, and the effort that is there, I have time for, I have capacity for, I have bandwidth for. Like this is a good, balanced goal. Like this is actually, and that's where your fuel comes from, right? Like that's where you see where my voice got like that. Like this is where you can be like, okay, I'm excited about this now, right? Because how excited are you if you set this awesome, cool goal for yourself, and then you realize it's going to take you 20 hours a day to freaking hit, and then you're like, well, that's stupid, I'm not going to do that, or your confidence level goes down to like 0% because you just realize there's no possible way that you can do this thing. Like there's no fuel there. There's no excitement. There's no motivation there. It's gone. It's completely gone at that point. But when you figure out this balance, that why becomes clear. Like it becomes clear. It's there. And then you start to be like, okay, now I got some x-ray vision. Now I know like what I need to do first step. Now I need to know, I know what I need to do for the second step. Now I got some momentum. Now now your confidence starts to go up. Now you start to reach a little bit more. Now you start to put more effort in. Now you start to think about the bigger impact you can go. And then like this whole system just feeds on itself. It's amazing. Like it's truly, truly amazing. So I highly suggest that you bookmark this episode if this has been something that has been impactful for you, because this is the conclusion of the show. But come back and listen to this. If you're in like a New Year's resolution type of situation, or you're just, you're resetting for the quarter, or you even want to reset for the month or the week, or you just want to think through how to set a goal, how to think through this RICE formula. I mean, you can read it, you can look things up, you can do all the things that you want to do online to figure this out. But if you want to come back and listen to this, I highly suggest you bookmark this episode. It'll also be up on the runyourdaypodcast.com site, even within the app as well. So that is all I have for you, my friends. My dog is begging me to play fetch, so I'm going to go play fetch. Hey, buddy. All right, my friends. I hope you got value out of this episode. As always, download the Run Your Day mobile app, and head over to runyourdaypodcast.com. It's a lot different. I've updated some things. Check it out. Hopefully I got some more interviews coming your way very, very, very soon. So I hope you guys are enjoying those. And I got a couple cool announcements I will do in the next episode. So be sure to stay tuned with that. Spoiler alert. It's going to be a live show. It's going to be dope. It's going to be really, really dope. I'm excited. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you. Dan Hafner signing off. Make it a great rest of your day. Hey, have you ever thought about joining a virtual run challenge? As the world continues to be stuck in lockdowns and social distancing, and as many of us continue to work from home, finding fresh ways to challenge yourself physically can be difficult. It can also be difficult to connect with others and find accountability partners for the purpose of fitness as well. So, what can you do? Introducing Runwage, the running motivation app. Runwage virtual challenges are a new and exciting way to stay physically active, maintain social distancing, and stimulate your mind and body. Every challenge within the app takes place 100% online, and you can compete against and engage with people in your own backyard or from all over the world. Best of all, these challenges are designed to actually reward the winners with real cash. Yes, that's right, real cash. So if you've been looking for a fresh and interesting way to stay active and healthier, go to runwageapp.com or download the Runwage mobile app today to join the diverse group of runners already competing there and winning. That's runwageapp.com. Can't wait to see you there.